Now that the NBA is officially starting in less than a month and everyone has had time to process all the craziness that happened over the offseason, today I'm going to be talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and why they have the best roster in the NBA and are dark horse contenders in 2023. As most of you guys already know by now, I cover everything about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and with the NBA season starting to roll in, I really wanted to ramp up the content on this channel. Not only will I be talking about the Cavs, but I will also be covering news and other things that happen around the NBA, so if you do enjoy this video, even if you're not a Cavs fan, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to show your support. It takes only 5 seconds and it really helps my channel grow and get pushed out to more people, plus you can always change your mind. So when I said that there was a lot of craziness that happened this past offseason, that might have been an understatement, because it's been absolutely wild. As much as I miss loyalty in the NBA, I have to admit it does add a lot of excitement when there's nothing to watch, because you never know what next star will be on the move. In case you don't watch basketball, or have been living under a rock like Patrick Starr, then you know Donovan Mitchell was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a blockbuster trade that has shaken up the entire outlook of the Eastern Conference, but I still don't think people are realizing how dangerous this Cleveland Cavaliers roster is right now. Richard Jefferson said it best after the trade happened on NBA Today. He said, "The Cavs now have the best starting lineup in the entire NBA on paper. It's funny to me how many other fan bases are blowing off this trade and still saying the Cavs are a long shot to come out of the East. Yes, I know, I'm obviously a biased fan, but I watched every single second of the season last year, and this team was so much better than their record showed. They have one of the best defenses in the entire NBA, and if Mobley progresses the way I think he will, they will be dominant for a long time." I've seen so many people already write off the Cavs defensively, but my question to those people is, what did the Cavs lose? From last year's team, they basically just swapped Lauri Markkanen for Mitchell, and I don't know how that declines your defense. Yes, I know Mitchell is a liability on that end, but it's not like Markkanen was any good either. The entire defense ran through Mobley and Allen, and that's going to continue. The way I look at it is that it doesn't really matter how bad our guards are at defense, because if the offense gets past them, they're just going to run into two athletic giants that have huge wingspans and can contest just about anything. Anyways, enough of that. I just needed to get that off my chest. I'm going to talk more about why the Cavs can be contenders later, but now I want to move on to recent Cavs news and training camp, which is starting up. So the first thing that happened over the past weekend is that Dean Wade got a pretty solid extension of $18.5 million for 3 years. Personally, as a fan, I am super happy for Wade because he is one of those nothing to something stories that started out developing in the G League and worked his way up to getting minutes on an NBA roster. Not only was Wade getting minutes last year, but he actually had a significant impact on this team's success. With how injury prone the Cavs were last year, there were many occasions where Dean Wade was asked to step up into the starting lineup, and he held his ground and looked like he belonged out there. As weird as it is to say, he was also one of the more reliable three-point shooters on the whole team, and I'm really hoping that problem gets fixed this year with the addition of Mitchell. But staying on the Dean Wade hype train, he was also a very good utility player that could play center, power forward, and even small forward. He was willing to do whatever it took to help the Cavs win, and that's why Koby Altman gave him this extension. With Lauri Markkanen being shipped off to Utah, we are a little bit thinner with big men now. We're still going to be fine, but unless we really want Robin Lopez to play minutes, Dean Wade is going to have to step up again in 2023. Moving on, another move the Cavs made was picking up Sharife Cooper to a training camp deal, so I'll be interested to see how that plays out. I saw some recent rumors about the possibility of Cleveland trying to pick up Carmelo Anthony, but for some reason, I just don't want to do it. He's getting super old to the point where he wouldn't even play minutes for us, and I don't want to screw the chemistry up adding a bunch more big name players, even with the age. As the Cavs head into training camp after all the good drama that happened in the last few weeks, it's time to finally start talking about basketball and why the Cavs truly could make a run in the East. According to the new ESPN Top 100 players, the Cavs currently have 6 of them. I'm not even going to start to talk about the actual list, because the rankings are complete BS every single year. They don't watch the same basketball that I watch. Garland and Allen should have both been ranked 20 spots higher than they were. But anyways, the point is, the Cavs have 2 ranked players that will be coming off the bench. That's how deep this team is. I do think Isaac Okoro is going to win the battle to be the starting small forward, and I think it's the right thing to do for defensive purposes. Scoring within the starting lineup is not going to be an issue at all, so it would be smart to have Lavert carry that load on the bench. This coming season, I expect Cleveland to have a top 10 offense and defense unless some crazy injuries happen like last year. At one point last season, the Cavs had the 3rd best ranked defense in the entire league, and everyone seems to have forgotten. But honestly, I think it's always a good thing to go under the radar, because then the team can play free without worrying about the stress of expectations. Just look at what happened to the Lakers last year. That was miserable. Moving on, now I want to talk about the rotation and what I think the Cavs should do. So obviously by now, it's looking like the starting lineup is going to be Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. I was a little worried before we traded for Mitchell that Raul Neto was about to be playing 15 minutes-ish a game until Rubio comes back, but now I doubt he will touch the floor much, but he could give us some valuable experience. The thing that relieves me the most is that we finally have another guy that can handle the ball and run the offense, because with the usage we were giving Garland, eventually he was going to burn out. Pretty much everything we did last year ran through Darius, and when he was out, we looked like a bottom of the league team. Now that we have some solid all-around depth, Rubio can take all the time he needs to come back from his injury. We probably won't see the version of him that we saw last year, but even if he can become half as good, that will be enough to help this team off the bench. I'm never going to forget how special Rubio was for that 20-game stretch last year, and he really lit a fire underneath the whole roster, and there's a reason why the whole season went downhill after his injury. He was just that impactful. Anyways, I really do think the Cavs are a dark horse contender this year. If you're looking to make some money, I think they would be one of the best teams to bet on. Everything just fits on paper, but because of the chemistry this team has, I know they're not going to disappoint on the floor. The core of this roster is pretty much set for the next 5 years, and I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for the ride. The only issue I see coming up in the future is that we won't be able to afford the contract that Mobley wants right away, but he's a humble guy, and I think he'll be willing to do whatever it takes in order to eventually bring home the trophy. That's going to be the end of this video. I just cannot wait until the home opener on October 23rd that I'm going to. The future's so bright in Cleveland, and I can't wait to see it all unfold. I'm also super excited for the grind ahead with this channel, and I hope you guys join me for the ride. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video, and also comment below what you want to see next. Thank you all for watching, stay tuned for more videos, and until next time, I'll see you all later.